MVP, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate you.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me. Much appreciated.
Michael, look, we're going to get to your fight in just a second, but obviously the news of today, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. People are very mad at me today because I think Jake Paul's going to beat him, and it's not because he's not Iron Mike. He's 58 before the fight happens, and I'm worried about him. I don't want him to do this. What do you think
Yeah,
in
I,
this?
I had seen the same thing this morning, and in my head, I was hoping that it was like a bit of a I don't know, marketing strategy to just they're gonna be doing like random games or something, not an actual fight. But if they are actually having a fight, yeah, you know what, even seeing Mike Tyson recently doing, even with his training and stuff, he still looks unbelievable. He still looks great. It's just not the same, and I don't know why people keep feeding Jake these names, like historical names, to just destroy it. And it obviously looks great for him. But just yeah, it just for me, I don't like it at all. I prefer, like, what, I'm not going against Jake at all. He's found a place that he seems to love, but find some other influencers to fight and do that. Or there are going to be some fighters that will cross over. We've been seeing that, but the legends, such as Mike, man, I don't want to see it. I don't
Yeah,
want to
because
see it.
the thing is, I hang around with a lot of boxing fans around this building, and people, the guys hosting before me loves Mike Tyson. I'm like, listen, I already went through this with Anderson Silva. It annoyed me that he beat him. I was like, this.
Mm.
I've already been through this of seeing Jake Paul annoyed because he gets a guy who's older and takes
Yeah.
advantage of it, and it's a genius thing to do. But I think he plays on those emotions. It's a crazy promotion game that he does.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. He's exceptional at marketing and PR, and like you say, just pushing himself out there, and just he seems to just dangle all of these different vines everywhere. There's fishing lines everywhere, and he's just capturing a load of big fish. But yeah, it's I don't. For me, it's more a case of I don't want to see Mike Tyson be hurt in any way due to his age, just for a gimmick fight. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And yeah, and it's just not. It just wouldn't be a good look to have any form of pictures of Mike Tyson, fought like on the floor, and Jake Paul standing over him. And again, it's no disrespect to Mike Tyson, as in, like, I don't believe he could win, because anything can happen. But it just means that anything can happen means that could also be a picture that we end up seeing. So I just wouldn't want to see that.
MVP, so excited that you are in the UFC, man. I loved watching you in Bellator for years, but I think as Michael Chandler will tell you, this does feel like a different stage. How excited are you that this is finally happening come Saturday night down here in Miami?
Yeah, he's definitely not wrong at all. Coming over, you don't really understand the difference until you experience it. I tapped into it a little bit in years and years ago. My teammate Jimmy Warhead was fighting in Germany, and I was in his corner. And yeah, I was even then I was pretty wild with how organized and just the amount of people on the ground level that are getting stuff done for you. But I feel like they've just gotten better since then. Um, and yeah, experiencing this time around, seriously blown away. People are talking to me. I'm like, "What, you guys do that for us as well? Oh, you guys do that? Oh, it's mad. It's mad." So I definitely feel like I'm in the right place, and just eager to showcase my skills on Saturday.
You are like a video game in there. You seem like you're playing at a different level than everybody else. Are there any nerves? Like, do you have any nerves because you've been fighting for a very long time? But like you said, the different stages, does that make you nervous at all? Have you had to go through any of that this week?
You know what? No, not at all, really. When I get closer to the fight, I have this same feeling I have even in the gym. And I don't like to call it nerves, because it's a feeling and we associate it to the word nerves. And a lot of people can use it negatively. So, or use it, or kind of it works against them. I, I'm excited. And the reason I say it happens in the gym is because I always have the same thing. My coach will be like, "Guys, pad up now. We're going to do some sparring." And I need to go to the bathroom. Like, I just straight away, the second he says it, I was fine 2 seconds before. Then he's like, "Pad up," and all of a sudden I need to run to the bathroom, and it just feels like my body is excited. It's like, okay, let's just get everything out, so there's no problem, so we can go to work. And I perform the same. Uh, I'd say 90% of the time I perform exactly the same way, and I think that's the good thing about me is that my consistency in there of being myself, of being that kind of showman. It's not something that I'm having to try hard to do. It's just me. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm excited more than I can say nerves. Nerves are not really a word for me.
Was there ever a time where you were gonna fight and the routine did not happen and you brought it to the cage? Like, was there ever a time where like the tradition did not go through and you had to think about, oh, I may still have to go at the in the midst of the fight?
Um, yeah, I think the my most difficult time, I had a back and forth, like PR game and like little back and forth hate, with Paul Daly, and what, a couple months before my dad passed away, and that's not something that is easy to kind of. So that's something that would rock anybody's world, shall I say? Um, Weirdly enough, I was still able to train, but it was a weird feeling because training was a constant reminder of him because he was my first instructor. Um, but then training was also a way to avoid the pain. So it was a weird cycle that I was trapped in. And my coach literally said, only after the fight, he said, I was looking for any reason to pull you out of this fight because I didn't think you were going to be okay mentally. And I got there. Sorry, every time I got into training, I performed like exceptionally. Like I was just, it was just ridiculous. Ridiculous. You'd always ask me, "Are you okay?" Like you checking in, like you good? I'm like, yeah, yeah, fine, fine, fine. You know. And then you got to the fight, and my brain, it felt like my brain disappeared. Like I couldn't even, I can't even explain to you the feeling that was. I could hear myself thinking in there, like, okay, I'm supposed to do this. I've never been in that state before during a fight, so that's the only time I'd say like routine. But I don't really have a clear routine. But that's the only time where something's affected me prior to, and obviously I don't know how I did it. I managed to get a win still, but yeah, I definitely wasn't the best me.
That's wild, man. That's crazy. What do you think of Kevin as an opponent, man? This is a pretty fun fight. Everybody, I mean, there's a lot of candidates for potential fight of the night, but this one just on paper seems like a wild one.
Yeah, yeah. No, this one, I'm a fan of him as well. Obviously, again, taking myself out of it, I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of UFC. Specifically, I was literally in Miami this time last year watching the UFC, and I was in the crowd watching. Kevin Holland was performing. I was there to watch my brother Izzy, and what a spectacular win that was for him. And got to experience the crowd and so on and so forth. But yeah, what for me, I actually think this is the perfect first fight. This is the literally it allows me to showcase the best the best of me, the best side of me. He's tough enough to go through it and give back. And not only that, I'm going to be dancing. He's going to be talking. It really is going to be a bit of a boy band.
One more before we get you out of here, MVP. Can't wait to watch Michael Venom Page in the cage, UFC Octagon, UFC 299 this weekend, Saturday night at the Kaseya Center. I saw you mention something about media day. Like you want to get to the belt. This is a fast track you want to get to. You don't have time to waste. What do you think of that matchup? You, Leon Edwards, if that were to be the championship matchup, how do you think you'd fare?
Yeah, no, he's what an amazing athlete. What a story, a great story. To his journey here, which shows not only his talent as an athlete, but his heart. And we've seen it in the first time that he beat Usman. Everybody wrote him off. He's in the fifth round. It's like, yeah, he's got nothing left, and he still managed to dig deep and pull it out, and then obviously do it again. So people can't class it as a fluke. He's a tough fighter. I do believe again my stand up is superior to whoever the hell I get in there with. And I do believe I'll end up turning him into a wrestler. So it's just going to be how much can I nullify, him trying to, slow me down by holding onto my legs or, taking me to the floor. That's going to be the battle, I think. But on the feet, I feel like, I beat him in that department. It would be hard to finish him though, finish a guy like him, but I feel like I can win in that department.
You got any big celebrations planned for down here, man? Like, what's how are you gonna enjoy Miami after this victory?
To be fair, the cherry on top for me always is spending time with my family. But what makes it 10 times better this time is all my family are here. You know,
That's cool.
I got siblings in Miami. That I got my other siblings. They're on a plane right now, flying out. They're going to be landing soon. That for me is the best. We booked out a villa. We're going to have a great time together. Food, drink, music, dancing, laughing. And yeah, that for me, I'd take over any party, any club, anywhere.
Hey, Michael Venom Page, we're excited, man. Can't wait for the UFC debut. Thanks so much for spending some time with us, and looking forward to seeing you in the building on Saturday night.
Thank you, man. Thank you, guys.